welcome back to FM23. It's me, Matty G. Since the last time you saw us after that final win against Torting, as you can see, we've had a couple of friendlies involved there. We also got knocked out of the FA Trophy, second round by Potter's Bar. Very embarrassing. We did start pretty much a second team in that game, and yeah, they were awful. But we did go on to beat Oxford City 3-0 in the Vanarama South. We then had a little friendly where we used, again, a lot of trialists. It's where we used to use trialists and bring £1,000 into the club. Desperately need the money, so friendlies are a bit of a key thing. And then unfortunately we went on a awful losing streak. First Weymouth 1-0, Dover 2-0, then a 6-0 hammering. At the time they were sort of in this area, roughly where they are now, and we were about here. They absolutely smashed us. But then, as you can see here, Welling, clear top. They were top at the time. We then went home to Welling, and we drew 1-1. And we controlled the game pretty much from the get-go. A real encouraging game, really encouraging. It's a very mixed bag of results. Then we obviously had a couple more friendlies on Wittersley and Codicut. Won both of them, obviously. Again, using mostly trialists and a few reserve players. And then against Codicut, we chucked a couple of big boys on towards the end of the game, hoping to get a big win and sort of inspire the lads. We got a 3-0 win, which is a 3-0 win. Don't take anything away from it, but it's far from convincing when you consider Codicut is probably 4 leagues lower than us. So yeah, we've still got another friendly to come in Parkview and Penn in the next sort of couple of weeks. But for this one, we'll be focusing on Concord, who I believe are right there with us. They're 20th. You can see we've slipped right down to 23rd. So yeah, I mean, a win against them, hopefully no one else will win. We could leap out of the relegation zone, because at the moment it is a struggle to pretty much sign anyone, and we've had some issues in that department anyway. So if we have a look at our squad here, you'll notice a little difference. I'm not playing Rafael De Silva very much, although he's in this massive bench that was for the friendly game. He's leaving us. He's gone, pretty much. He's got an end of his contract. The contract, we did do a contract with him. He accepted the contract, and then we were refused 2 loads of work permits. And we said, that's fine, we'll push ahead with it. Didn't go according to plan at all. He refused after that and instantly wanted to move. And now people have come in and got him on a nothing. I did have a offer lined up just before this December rolled in, which was agreed. All he had to do was sign on the dotted line. We were going to get a few pennies in for him, not much, but a massive 30% sell-on clause, and have to arrange a friendly with them, which is, again, more money in the pocket. Unfortunately, rules are rules, and other clubs came in and was able to offer him a contract straight up with no input from us. And he chose one of them, so he's just gone. As soon as his contract is up with us, he's now leaving. Sucks. Obviously, we did get Tommy Scott in. Hasn't really gone to the potential we thought he would do. And in goal, we have pretty much, that's Harvey White at the moment, who's been playing brilliant in friendlies. Don't let that form fool you. But we have been stuck using Alex Atkin. Now, his average is 6.98, but he makes some good saves, and he's somewhat of a penalty specialist now. Considering how many penalties we were having to concede, it's only natural that eventually someone's going to save 1 or 2 of them. We're not sure why we're conceding so many penalties, but we are. And we've gone for this, I like to call it the airplane arrow formation, although, again, this could be subject to change. I may drop this one back, have two holding midfielders, or I may drop this position back and have two central midfielders. It's up in the air, and we're still experimenting quite a bit. So here's the team we're going to go with for this one. We're going to leave Lidbird on the bench again, just purely from the last match. He has dipped in form slightly. There's only 1 or 2 goals, and Sante did come off the bench in the friendly and bang in 2 goals. So he's got a nice peak there in green. So we're hoping that's going to continue. That's giving him a little bit of maybe confidence boost. Golding's back on the left for the time being. Newton's coming back in on the right. Who else have we managed to change around? Joseph back from suspension. Elsie's back from suspension. That was a long, complicated problem. Both sent off in separate games. Both given extended breaks, shall we say, thanks to the FA or Vanarama National South. Kelly comes back in on right back, and obviously we've still got Atkin in goal. No injuries to see. All our trialists have gone. Hardly anyone decided to join. We've got a couple of guys on rolling contracts in, as usual, but we've lost a couple from the rolling contracts as well. Eddie Jackson being pretty much the only one from the current load of trialists that we were able to get on a rolling contract. We were looking at a couple of the strikers, but they wanted actual contracts, and we've got zilch in the bank. When Raphael goes, it should free up £400, but until then, we've got to keep cracking. I'm slightly nervous for this one because I think this could be a real turning point. The 1-1 draw could be a kickstarter. This game will tell. We need to go on this and do something special, get a few goals, get that points advantage, the 3 points that we definitely need. If not, and we lose this or even draw this, it could be disaster. It's actually pretty bad. Where they're actually on the up and up. Is it wrong to be really worried? I mean, look how far we've fallen from grace. I was hoping to be at least sort of mid-table at this point. And it looks like we start off in the match with first highlight, which is for them, which is never great. They're going to whip the ball in. Hopefully we can get it out. Kelly with a big header. Jenny takes it out there with another header. And that ends that highlight. That was really, really short. Rather pointless if you ask me. No XG ratings for anyone. Oh, I say that and there they go. We're holding possession, so we've got the passing game down to a T. It's the attacking line that we're not getting. So I'm going to get a little shouty. Give them a bit of encouragement because we're at home. We shouldn't have to go mad at it. Here we go with another highlight. It's one for them again, but Joseph gets that head on that. Golding collects it there. He's on a yellow, so hopefully he's going to watch it. Passes it to Newton. Sager in the centre. Over the top for Newton. He's through. What's he going to do with the ball? Oh, he does a little Cruyff turn, and that was just pointless because he loses out there. Why did he not swing the ball in? Or even have a crack from that point? But there goes Kelly. Long ball over the top. With Santi with... I mean, why are you heading from there, son? No one scores a looping header from 18 yards when a keeper is on the line. That is just absolutely wasteful. Although the highlight hasn't ended yet. And someone's mucked up. Newton's clear on goal. 1-0. Bang! Get in there. Zach Newton, second goal of the season. What a cracker. Well, I say what a cracker. He's a cracker for us because we've not been on a goal scoring form of late. So it's fantastic to get the first one in there. I mean, the keeper, what was he thinking? There goes Newton. He just knocks it. I mean, to be fair, he should have given it a bit more power. If I was the opposition manager, I'd be a bit cheesed off that the defender didn't really go all out to try and stop that rolling over the line. But 1-0. It's an improvement. We've got greens starting to appear. Everyone seems to be rather happy. Even Gardner Smith's starting to get a little better there. Although Joseph's fitness is starting to worry us a little. He doesn't seem to be able to last matches, this lad. Here we go, another highlight. It's a free kick for them. And that, Ryan Blackman, fair play to him. There's a whistle there. Hold on. Disallowed. Disallowed goal. Why was it disallowed? Offside from a free kick. You got to be kidding me. It can't have been the man in question that scored the goal that was offside, surely. He looked on to me. Well, that's half time. They did have a little pick up there, as you can see. There was our goal, and then we just stayed dead flat. We want to push on, really. I don't want to have a go at them, obviously. I think we can say they're capable of you even more better. They're much more better. Attackers, keep going. You could be a difference maker. You're bossing the midfield. Defence, absolutely solid, but I'm going to say I think you can have faith. I mean, we've got some nervous Nellies on the bench, but overall, not so bad. We're going to give a shouty. We're going to go a bit encouragement from the get-go. I think they need it just to pick up some of them up, and it hasn't worked on a couple of the players. Great. No highlights though, but they are picking their XG levels up. So I think, hit the 60th minute mark, we may need to make a change. He's on a booking. Tetty's going to come on. Come on, Tetty. And Asante's fitness level's poor, so we'll bring in Leadbird. Hopefully he can get a goal or two. And I'm going to try and keep Joseph on as long as possible, to be honest. He's been quite solid today at the back. Make a good pairing with Elsie. And give a bit more shouty, a bit of encouragement. Going to ask him to go a little attacking, try and get that second goal and kill the game off. We'll make that... Did we make that change? Did it disappear? Everything's gone real quiet. The sound's gone quiet. The crowd's gone dead silent. But I think we got there. No more highlights. Full time. 1-0. Job done. Does not look like that win got us out. It dragged them in, but it didn't get us out. But as you can see, we are close. We are very close to climbing our way out there. Couple of losses in around here. And we just need that one win that will drag us out of there for the time being. And hopefully we can carry on improvement. So our first friendly of this particular one, it's right towards the end of December. We're against Parkview at home. We've gone for a pretty swapped around team. No trialists this time round. It is just random squad members getting a game in and making an 11 up. We've got Tommy Scott in goal. Hopefully playing against a lower team, he'll make a few good saves and have a relatively quiet day, get his experience up, his match fitness up, etc. Eddie Jackson, Bailey, De Silva, probably one of his last few games. Warner Ely, Major, I'm going to call him Stanislas, TT, Gibbons, Josh, and Troy Chiba. Chubby? I'm going to call him Chubby. And Chubby up front in the number 9 position. We have got a massive long bench because obviously we've got a lot of players. Hopefully this is going to be a nice easy win and build some confidence towards the teams. Let's see how they did. So after they got a player sent off, we go on the attack almost instantly. And there you go, 1-0. As quick as that, literally minutes after they're sending off. Not long after, long ball over the top, TT gets it on the far right, runs it in, has a crack, 2-0. Not quite as many goals as I would have liked, but it's not been so bad. So there you have it, 2-0 victory in the end. A few simple little changes, just a few tweaks as the game went on, give some other players some game time, rest some others, and when players got tired, swap some out. Simple as that, but as you can see from the notable events, 56 minutes was the red card, 58 minutes was the goal, and then a few minutes, 10 minutes later you ended up with a second goal. 2-0 victory. Should have been a lot more, shouldn't have needed the red card before getting the victory, but it all adds to team morale. I'm happy enough. This is the situation we are in at the moment. You can see all these players coming to an end of their contract at the end of the year. It's pretty much the whole squad, as you know. But as you can see, some of our... I mean, Joseph, we don't want to lose him. He's only on £140. The highest earner we've had at the club is 400. I mean, he's not good enough to really stay beyond that, and he doesn't justify a wage increase at all. Roman, I'd say he's worth about that, so he probably won't re-sign. Joseph is definitely worth 400. At the moment, we're not going to be able to afford it, and we've got a plethora of players that we really would like to keep, so it's going to be a tough one. So it's just been brought to our attention that the World Team of the Year has officially been announced. As you can see, it's heavily UK dominated. Nerver from Bayern Munich in goal, a back four of Cancelo, Militao, Van Dijk, James. In holding midfield role, this is actually playing similar to our positions actually. Thiago and Rodri, and then the front three lineup of Neymar, Malusia, Salah, and out striker. Is it anywhere? Is it going to be anyone else? It's Haaland. He's doing what he's doing in real life in the simulator as well, smashing goals in for fun. I mean, here he is now. I mean, just look at these unbelievable stats. Here's that heart shaped that we've been talking about. Obviously this is a much better version, but that's that heart shape that you want as a striker. And I mean, just look at his stats. Overall 170 appearance, overall 123 goals. That's competitive goals. That doesn't, include cups. These are league goals. Man City 18 appearances, 12 goals. Borussia Dortmund 67 appearances, 62 goals. It's insane. This striker is insane. At 22 years old, he's officially a super wonder kid. Not just a wonder kid, but a super wonder kid. So with the running costs dramatically overpowering what we're actually making, the board have injected a 55k cash to help with the running costs. Is that actually going to help? Well, if you take a look at the finances, no, it's not going to help. We're plus 14 grand with a £55,000 injection. That just shows you how far we dip into the red. This month we really dipped into the red. Profit or loss in this month alone, 45 grand was the profit. 55 grand in injection, so that's a 10 grand loss. Although, the board seem to be okay with us. I mean, security job-wise, it's fairly stable for now. They're getting more excited about our tactics. They're pleased with the squad and the squad size. It looks good. The squad are happy with us as well. C across the board. I'd like these to be Bs, but we're not gonna worry about it too much. This is the one that always gets me. It's the fans. I would much prefer Bs across the board again. I don't mind the Cs. This one's a little bit worrying. I'd much prefer this to at least be a C plus with the Cs across the board. But all in all, I'm happy with that so far. One of the problems we have with the squad dynamics is with all the players that have gone, with the potential loss of these two, because they both don't want to renew their contracts. They've openly said that. We will have no highly influential players at all. And we've certainly got no team leaders, which is a bit of a worry for a social core group. With that in mind, we are going to start the game like we mean to go on. It is a double header, so this is St Concord again. This time we're away, so we're going to go with roughly the same squad. We've got Titi out on the left this time. Here we go, first off to go. It's not a great start because they've already got a highlight 15 seconds in. They're just passing the ball around. It's like they watched our tapes and decided, do you know what, we'll pass around and see how they like it. Hopefully this ain't going to come to anything, but at the moment they're doing exactly what we normally do. And they're coming down the wing. Kelly, nice little block, and that ends that one. Well done, Kelly. They're coming again 2 minutes later. Oh, this is not good. 2 highlights in quick succession for themselves. That knocks it about. It's at Ramsey again, and again it's cleared. Is it going to stay cleared? No, they're coming back in again. We may need to shout a bit of encouragement early on here. Kelly again to try and clear it. Newton struggling down on that right hand side, and there goes. That was a very poor header to concede from. Very poor header. I'm not happy with that one. I'm gonna give him a shout. I'm gonna tell him they've got to be fired up for this. They're 1-0 down, and oh my days, it's gonna get worse, isn't it? In comes the corner. The whistle went. Was that a foul on one of our players? I'm guessing it was. Not that that helps us very much. This has got us back in the relegation zone. The way things are standing. We're going to shout. We're going to need to demand a bit more. They're not going to like it. But we need to demand more from them because it's not been great. Oh, another highlight. Maybe this is one for us finally. Kelly into Joseph. Joseph. Love that barrel name. Over the top towards that. He's not going to get there. Not sure what he was doing there. It was to the middle of nowhere. Joseph again. Gardner-Smith. Sega over the top. Asante's there. Oof. Normally I say headers from that far out are not going to cause any problems, but that weren't that far off. And that XG's finally starting to climb. Maybe it's too little too late. Well, it's too little too late for the first half. And that's all she wrote in the first half. Yeah, I mean, you can see, very flat game. We've got slight advantage here, but flat, very flat. And it could be. Gardner-Smith with a free kick. Swings it in. Joseph! Oh! I honestly thought that may have just squeezed in then for a split second. He's actually taken rating off him for missing that. That's a bit harsh. So we're going to give him a little shouty, a bit of encouragement. Asante's coming off. Top goal scorer coming on. I don't really want to take Joseph off, but I think I'm going to have to. He's so... His match fitness is there, but... I think we're going to leave it at that for a little brief while anyway. We're going to go on very attacking. It could be a bit disastrous here. We're going to demand a bit more. We've got a highlight. Jenny's over the free kick. Tries to knock it into space. Gibbons is there. I don't know what that was. The whistle's gone. What's the whistle gone for there? Must have been offside. We're going back in for another sub for the last 10 minutes. I think we're going to bring Sheaf on for Jenny. Jenny's had a fairly good game, but I'm just going to protect against a yellow card. Don't want a red card here. We're going to give a shouty. We're going to demand more. We could at least squeeze a 1 goal in here and get the draw. Would be absolutely fantastic about now. Why can't we do it? 3 minutes. Give us one more highlight. Give us one more highlight. Give us one more highlight. Football Manager, you suck. Well, it's the same old. Back to losing ways. Thank you very much. The teams all changed for the friendly against Penn and Tyler's Green. Harvey White and Gold. Jackson at the right back. Elsie and Joseph in the centre. They're going to have half a game here. Joseph Sigrel on left back. Major in the holding midfield role. Adu just in front of him. Joe Ree on the far right. Balfour in the centre attack. Reynolds on the far left. And Chris Harris links up top. So hopefully we'll get a result here. No tinkering. And we'll give you some highlights. The Major with the first goal. Free kick. Whipped it around the wall. into the keeper's left-hand side. 1-0. Goal number 2 from a corner. Reynolds in. Joseph, solid header down the centre. Keeper should have done better. 2-0 Cheshunt. Third goal coming up, and it's Bailey on the ball with a long one over the top, and Abi knocks it in pretty much down the centre. Poor shot really, but worse goalkeeping. Here comes number 4, Jenny, who's a centre back at this one, after a corner, whips it in like a beaut, and Reynolds on the half volley, left footed, top corner. Well, central towards top corner. And that's all she wrote. 4-0 victory. Lots and lots of greens. Stanislas has played the full 90 minutes, 6.8. Not impressed with him at all. The only reason I left him on is the only other players I had to bring on were first teamers that could play in that position, who weren't quite fully recovered from the previous game, and I'd rather have them have the extra few days rest and have them back in the league. With that said, although 4 of the friendlies were the victories and only 1 in the actual league, on paper it looks like a nice little run. No conceding the goals. I think possibly we could push on eventually. But what I'm going to do is I've jumped into the scheduler. I'm going to arrange a couple more friendlies in the coming couple of weeks just to fill in some gaps. And we'll see you against Slough in the next one, which will be a double home game. Slough and then Hemel Hempstead. Until then, it's been Matty G. Peace out.